This is a 2005 Ford Focus ZX4, and I'm working on the AC. I bought this as a used second car, but I wanted to live here in Texas. This car was from up north in Illinois, and man, I tell you what, the rust on this thing is incredible. I had to change valve cover gasket, which was leaking into the coil. I mean, it was they were just full oil. So then, I guess one of the reasons is this hose down here, PCV hose, collapses. So I took off the intake manifold to get to it, because since I'm changing the AC, I'm doing the whole new AC system. So I took off the compressor, and the whole inside here is all out. I'm waiting on parts. I had to change these engine mounts. These things were started up, had that wicked vibration. Like I said, since this was from up north, then the other one was under here, and the third one that is underneath, which that was the worst because it was so rusted. The bolt I had to burn the rubber till I can get a saw on it to cut it off of there, and then I had to go get some new bolts. But other than that, this is more or less. And why is it apart? I'm changing some other things, the thermostat housing, getting some new upper and lower. I got a new radiator. So I mean, the rust on this thing is incredible. My truck is 20 years old. I don't have a lick of rust on it here in Texas. But anyways, this is about the AC, these quick connect fittings. Here, man, there's no way this was coming apart. There's just no way. I don't know why they say quick connect, but the only way to get this, but this is the connections they should use on everything, not this crap. I don't know if I have any. No, I don't. But anyways, so I just cut this thing off of there. That was the best. Now the pipes in the back. Where's that? Here's one. I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, there you go. Those two round pipes in the back. See them? It's really hard to get in there. Alright, the right one is this connection, and this one came off in the tool I had. It came right off, that little round tool. Pop right off of there, man. But as you can see, I cut it. I mean, I was replacing all the hoses anyway, so luckily, because as you can see, this is where it was leaking. One leak was squirting out of there. And this is, this car's not even that old, man, for the AC to be falling apart like this, but it's a Ford, so what do you expect? So, anyways, there's a few other hoses that look like this, too. Now, the one on the left, this one, holy crap. This would not, it took 3 days to get this off. I cut it all the way down, and I left a little angle on it. It was into the firewall like this, okay? Put that tool on it, and man, my hands, look at this, all scratched up and everything. I had my gloves, and still, it was terrible. My arms are all cut up from this thing right here, man. But I put that thing in, and I'll tell you how it finally came off. I ran some, I have a flush kit. I ran the thing, because when there was so much dye in the system, I ran this flush through the accumulator both ways, because I have a can, fills it up, pressure, and put it through there. And once that oil got into these O-rings, that thing started spinning. Once it started spinning in there, it popped right off. But let me tell you, if there's any corrosion, you could see where I was trying to cut it off. And I was like, man, every day I'd come out here and mess with it for about 2 or 3 hours. And then I was like trying to cut it off, and I was like, let me flush it, because the accumulator's not leaking. So I'm going to replace everything until I get to that point, and if that needs to be replaced, then I'll pull the whole dash apart. But I'm telling you, man, and then the dryer is behind the wheel. You know, it's like down here. So you got to take the wheel cover or the fender cover off to even get to it. Anyways, let me tell you. So if you have a problem with these things, I bought all kinds of tools, and it came down to the cheapest tool to finally got it off. One of those little plastic rings from like Harbor Freight. The white plastic rings. Let me tell you, this was not fun. So now I'm waiting on parts. I should be here within the next few days and start putting this thing all back together. But as you can see, there was a leak in there. Where else? Let me see here. Oh yeah, you can see something's terrible. Let me get me in the garage. You can see where it was leaking there. This is the fitting that is down by the wheel well. This connection here. So by the dryer. That's where all the rust from, I guess, the salt just ate this thing up. I shouldn't have, once it goes back together, I shouldn't have a problem around here. But I guess the salt eats up this aluminum pretty good. And when I took out the orifice tube, it was just totally clogged. Just totally clogged with gum and gunk. So I'm replacing everything, and I flushed the accumulator, condenser, all the hoses, compressor, all the fittings, the high pressure switch, the low pressure switch. It's all getting replaced. But like I said, those two fittings. Let me see here. Where are we at? Man, they're so hard to see. They're so hard to see. You could see that. You could see them right there. Here and there. It's so hard to get your hands in there. And then I took some fine 1200 grit sandpaper and cleaned them up just a little bit because there was some corrosion on. That's why this left one wouldn't come off. There must have been some water in the system. There must have been water in the system. Anyways, I thought I'd just touch up on that. If you have one of these Ford Focuses, man, what a pain in the ass. This whole AC system is an engineering nightmare. Whoever thought of this bullshit? It's fucking Ford. Engine mounts falling apart. Gotta have engine. Who makes a vehicle the engine mounts rot out? Have to be changed out. It's ridiculous. Valve cover gaskets, just this hose down here collapses on itself and fucking draws. Oh, it sucks the oil into the spark plug well. What a joke. But luckily this is a beater car. But here in Texas you need AC. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, leave them. But remember, I'm just a backyard mechanic. So if you try any maintenance work on your vehicle, it's at your own risk. I take no responsibility. Have a nice day.